Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Shadowed City Podcast. I am your host, Larry, and we will be going over RCW and IZW and some other news in the EFED world. And as foremost, we have coming up in October a two-night event brought to you by Alex Woods, AJ Woods. The man himself produces a show every few months per se for like a holiday, like he did for the 4th of July. He did the Great American Bash. Coming up for Halloween, he's doing Nightmare on Bourbon Street. I can't wait to see what he does after Nightmare on Bourbon Street as well. But going into Nightmare on Bourbon Street, it will be a two-night event. Stay tuned for that. Also, IZW has a pay-per-view PLE coming up called Never Back Down, September 16th. That should be a banger, and there have been some matches announced on the IZW page, and if you missed that, you should go check them out. Go stay tuned with the action. And we will be going over IZW's recent show and RCW's recent show that passed. We also have Dogfight coming up for IWA on October 4th. Some matches have been announced and some changes have been made, so stay tuned for that. We have the Wrestle Wars, which was announced earlier on the last live for IWA, which will be worldwide, like, to anybody. Anybody could come and join and pick their team. And it will be happening next season for IWA. We also have the first episode of Dark Side of EFEDS coming up called It's Just a Game. The official first episode name, and our guests will be introduced on that day when we go live. It will be intense, I guarantee it, and it won't be something y'all want to miss. Now, we are going to start with these shows by going over IZW's recent show. It was for the Deathcore Championship. It was a triple threat between the champion Eddie Walker defending against the challengers Nomad and Jordan King. All three men very impressive. The champion Eddie walked in. We know what the Phantom loves, blood and pain, and he loves a good fight, war, and a battle. And these men definitely gave it to him. Nomad, the hardcore deathmatch hippie, they have faced off in one-on-ones, multi-man, and even tag action. And no matter how much times they interfere with each other, they always duke it out at least once. Jordan King, we have seen what the man is capable of since his debut here. Very high-flying, athletic agility and ability, and very technically gifted athlete. I guarantee he shall be holding gold here in IZW at some point in time. And in the end, it was Nomad becoming the new champion, but as announced, it will be an ambulance match where he will defend his championship against the former champion Eddie, declared by the champ Nomad himself. And I am very excited to see where that shall go. Next up was a fatal five-way between the Lady of the Shadows, Riley, the Ripper, representing Violence Incarnate as always, versus Jessica Troy, a former member of the Violence Incarnate. Who knows? She may still could be a part of it. That remains to be seen. We don't know. Taylor Griffin, she has just been full of energy and exhilarating fire. And Reagan Anderson, we know what she's about, and Artemis. Five ladies going at it. Riley, very impressive, high-flying, athletically gifted, and also unpredictable and unorthodox at times. And definitely makes an impact every time she steps in there. And same with Jessica Troy. Somebody that everybody sleeps on, I swear. Jessica Troy is nobody to be slept on. She is a very talented lady. She is also brutal. And she has put out superstars with that dreaded arm bar. And freaking breaking them down. Next, Taylor Griffin. We know what she's about, like I was saying. Very exhilarating in that ring. Full of, like a controlled frenzy like Kofi Kingston, and always hyped and ready. And always looking to put on something new and different for the world to see. Reagan Anderson. Rough and double tough and she is nobody to be played with. She barely says much, but when she does most of her talking in that ring with her fists and her kicks, and she can back up what she does. And she's a former champion in her own right, and guarantees she shall hold gold again soon. And lastly, Arnabis. We know what the lady is about. She is nobody to be taken lightly. Very talented lady. Already made it up there into main event status, improving herself here in the IZW locker room, proving herself against the other ladies that she has faced in multi-women and singles action. And I guarantee we shall see her with gold here, maybe sooner or later. Next up, for the Death Pit Championship, it was the champion KD walking in against Damian Briggs. Now, we know KD the champion. He recently defeated the nearly unstoppable Combat Genius, who was running rampant through anybody and everybody he could with that belt. But then his partner KD was the one to stop him down. But KD had a challenge ahead, and that was Mr. Briggs. And we know what the Briggs is about, going from the king to the beast to the nightmare. And the man showed up in full suite, and he definitely proved why he is a former champ in his own right, and why he is a main eventer. This may have not been the main event, but we know Damian Briggs and KD definitely main event status. And this match for the Death Pit Championship was extraordinary, as Damian Briggs became the new champion, and I can't wait to see where he goes from here. Next up was a 2 out of 3 falls. Extreme Rules, CJ Frost versus Primetime JoJo. CJ Frost representing the Venom Club in full force. He came back to IZW not too long ago, and he has been making statements ever since. And his opponent, though, Mr. Primetime JoJo, sometimes known as Primetime Dojo, the resident Flash of E-Feds, as I like to call him, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely a very talented man and competitor, and definitely puts on a show for the whole world to see, and can catch you out of nowhere, something you've never seen before. The man's astounding. And in the matchup, it was a very great matchup. JoJo and CJ Frost. JoJo walked out victorious. I'm excited to see where JoJo goes from here. Next up was a ladder match. Fatal 5-Way. Alpha Wolf. A man that made his debut and definitely made a big impact, and has not looked back since, and keeps on walking back in to do some damage and dominance. Reese the Destroyer, his freaking Impact debut fucking was wild. Fucking, he came out flying, high fly, ready, freaking just flying all around that ring. Nobody could stop about that. But, oh my gosh, the man's very gifted, and I can't wait to see until he holds gold here in IZW. Gage Payton, a man that's also slept on at times, but nobody to be taken lightly, former member of BLS, and definitely has been making waves on his own as of late. And the man is looking to get the big gold here eventually, and I guarantee we shall see it. Rusty Steele, we know what Mr. Rusty is about. He made a big statement in his debut, and he left for a bit, but then he came back, and look what he did. He rammed right through his opponents, and then made his way here to the ladder match. Shan Leon, another great competitor. A man that's very gifted and definitely has made his statements everywhere he's been, and is a fast rising star everywhere he goes. And he came out victorious, walking out the victor in this ladder match. Hello, sir. I hope you are well. Mr. Torkel. Next up was a tornado tag match. Venom Club, Andre Robinson and Johnny Superkicks versus The Last Rite, Insidious and Ghost Edwards. Andre Robinson and Johnny Superkicks representing the Venom Club in full force. And welcome, Mr. Shockwave, my brother from another mother, Mr. Mitchell, Mr. XPWF, and also go check out RYPW for Tekel. Very good stuff. You guys won't be disappointed in their content. Wonderful stuff. Johnny Superkicks, a main eventer, a man that, wow, He has been in some of the greatest main events here in IZW and has made some of the best matches since his debut. Another 5-star athlete like AJ Woods in my eyes. Welcome in, welcome in. And I was very impressed to see him team with Andre. That was a powerful unit. And Andre is called the Big Dog. And he is the big dog for a reason. Big dog of the Venom Club. And now the last right. Insidious and Ghost Edwards coming together, making a formidable team. And they are looking to get tag gold eventually. And they definitely showed their chemistry in this matchup. But in the end, it was Venom Club walking out victorious. Next up, Amaya Bryant versus Kaiva Frost. Now that two ladies, 5-star matchup, very great. It was a brutal matchup. Nobody could take it away from any of the competitors in that matchup. It was astounding. The ladies of ICW are strong and athletically gifted and nobody to be taken lightly. And they always are full of surprises. And in the end, it was Kaiva winning. But after attacking Amaya, makes you wonder, what's going to happen going forward? Next up was a 8-person battle royal between Red Man. What's up, man? That boy Red Man. Oh, dude, he's one of my favorites. A sleeper character, but a man that was in the main event scene here for a good time. And now he doesn't care what gold he gets now. He's looking for another good fight. And who knows? He may just get gold very soon. Rob Anderson. A man, the dog, the most devious competitor in the EFED world, looking to make a big statement, as he does each and every single time he steps to that ring. And also, he has them deadly submissions you need to look out for. The man can catch you off guard and is not afraid to use them dirty tactics. Travell Daniel, a man that's no stranger to dirty tactics as well. Very grimy and feisty and fiery. You never know what he's going to do. Rick King, a man of royal descent, I would say, and a man that I don't really know much about. I have seen him here and there, and I hope to get to know him more, but I can say from that matchup, he was astounding. John Wigginton, a man that I think has great aspiration for being here. I've seen his work elsewhere, and I'm glad he's part of the IZW brand. Alexander Colt, go check out his stuff in the BWC, ladies and gentlemen. And the man making his debut here not too long ago is definitely made himself at home here. Jay Monster, a man that comes out swinging for the fences, always looking for a brawl. Whether it's in the ring or outside the ring, he will be brawling. Kabuki Dragon, a warrior that is well respected by many, has created many students over the years and has taught his students discipline, hard work, and responsibility. And he put up a great war in this matchup, and in the end it was Alexander Colt walking away victorious. And to main event the night, it was a 2 out of 3 falls match between Jack motherfucking Graves versus John Robb, the Savage One. And we have seen these men clash many a times before, and each time they do, it is a classic to remember. And in the end, it was John Robb winning. And no matter if you're in the world title scene, no matter if you're in the mid-card title scene or tag title scene, you're making a statement in your own way. You make your own statement. You could be in the main event scene as much as you want. That may be elsewhere. Going into another place. Gotta be careful when you go around. Won't always be the same walking in. Gotta earn your place there as well. And I'm excited to see the next IZW show. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for that. Now we move on to another fantastic show brought to you by Mr. Eddie Walker himself. He brought us together for a crazy night after an astounding tribute show not too long ago, and he looked to bring this show with the fire and desire it deserved. With the new people that debuted at the and returned at the Calvin Ricks tribute, it was amazing. And to kick off the show, it was a great women's matchup between Sylvia Knight and Helga representing the bad bitches. And it was an Extreme Rules matchup, and both ladies went to war. Damn! It could have gone either way, I'm telling you. It was a fire starter. Way to kick off the night. Both ladies showing why RCW has some strong women athletes and talent around, and they are part of the Hellfire brand brought to you by Eddie Walker. And in the end, it was Helga walking away victorious, kicking off the night, and preparing us for what was to come. And it was next a tables match between Gage Payton and Buster Anderson. And both men, both former members of BLS, Buster Anderson, currently a part of the Wolfpack. Gage Payton, a man making his way here. And Buster has always been making his way here every way he can, no matter where it is, with tag or singles. Always looking to make a statement. And Gage is looking to not be made a joke. And he's somebody not to be slept on, ladies and gentlemen. And it was a great battle. And in the end, Buster Anderson won. But, like I said, both men put up a great effort. Great night. Next up was an Extreme Rules between the returning J-Max versus the Green Giants. And that was an Extreme Rules match. And in the reason for that matchup, they faced off once before. And this was just some bring it back moment, as Eddie said, for J-Max return in singles competition. And J-Max conquered the Big Green Giant. But the Big Green Giant did not go away without a fight. This next matchup, these two men have been battling before. And they faced yet again. But this time, this was a steel cage, pins only. As the Nightmare Briggs took on Big T. And both men, if you've never checked out their work, go check them out. Big T and Briggs, both dominant competitors in their own right. Both men that have won gold everywhere they have been. Where they go, the gold follows. And part of two dominant groups in their own right. Wolfpack and Club Elite. And in the end, it was Briggs walking out victorious. Next up was an underground matchup, as it was champion versus champion. BPW, the Fiendish champion, took on Jack Graves, the Death champion. And in the end, it was a war. There was blood, there was weapons, it was chaos all around the arena. And in the end, BPW conquered Jack Graves. And in the co-main event, it was a Tornado Tag Extreme Rules champions versus champions. As our men champions Leon Smoke and Big Lou, representing Wolfpack, took on the Faces of Fear, Angel and Amaya Bryant. And it was a war. The Brutality Tag Team champions are Big Lou and Leon Smoke. The Blackout Tag Team champions, Faces of Fear. And both teams dominant in their own right. The tag champions recently won their gold not too long ago at the Calvin Ricks tribute in honor of Calvin Ricks. You shall be missed, brother. And it was a hell of a matchup. And in the end, it was Wolfpack walking out victorious. I mean, no. In that matchup. In that matchup that I was just talking about. Yes. But back to the Faces of Fear. They also have been running the women's tag scene for quite some time, and they haven't dropped the gold since. And they dominated the Wolfpack, but the Wolfpack put up a good fight. But they won. FOF, not to be taken lightly. Very tough ladies and gentlemen. Was incredible. And the cap off the night. Falls Count Anywhere champion versus champion. Reagan Anderson versus Lewis West. And in the end, it was Lewis walking out victorious, and it was a stellar main event. If you missed it, I strongly suggest checking it out. And stay tuned for the other shows that are to come for EFED and Pro Wrestling. And speaking of pro wrestling, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time we switch a little bit of gears here. Because I would love to shout out IWF and DCW, and I will be doing Albas in the future. So far, for IWF, Imperial Wrestling Federation will bring you Monarch's Madness. Imperial Championship. Persona. The champion will take on Johnny Flashback. Falls Count Anywhere Red-Faced Demon versus Nate Sawyer. Sovereign Shield Championship. Spawn the Champion versus Tommy Cartel. Adrenaline Kid versus JJ Nova. Number 1 contenders match, Johnny Thunder versus Rory Shaw. That's going to be a good one, ladies and gentlemen. I can't wait for that one there. That's going to be awesome. And for the Regal Duos Championships, Alfie Jackson and Hybrid will take on Strange Street, Walker Wall Street, and Jakob. Damn. Stay tuned for that. And DCW8, here we go again. Double Dropkick Tag Team Championships will be on the line. Thunder Flash, Johnny Thunder, and Johnny Flashback, the champions, will defend against the Iron Kings, Ahmad Hamden and Antonio Verter. Project Ego, Martin Kirby will take on Karen Douglas. The Finest Strategic Minds, Simon G. Money, will take on Reggie Butch Bronson. The Monarch of Ruin, Ewan G. Mackey, will take on Silas Everett, the Masked Wrestler. And that is what we have for what's going over there in the Northeast. And we also have other wrestling shows coming up, as I've done on some of the past other lives as well, for this month. And we shall go through some of those right now, since we are talking about it, so I can give you guys a recap. Why not, right? Aha! By the way, Monarch's Madness will be September 13th. DCW8 will go live on September 28th. Alba Championship Wrestling Stomping Grounds 2, September 27th. Premier British Wrestling PBW will go live September 26th. Forever Pro Wrestling will go live with Going Gold September 19th. Hog will be in Philadelphia they were already in Philadelphia September 4th, but on October 10th, Killer Cross will debut. International Wrestling Cartel IWC returns to Mark's Court on October 4th. Chaos will present Lockdown September 6th. MLW will present Slaughterhouse on October 4th. And Chaos did pass with Lockdown. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. That passed on the 6th. If you missed it, go check it out. Wrestling Revolver Clean Slate passed on September 6th. Horror Slam will present Tombstone on September 19th. Three Legacies Wrestling had the Red Rose Rumble 3. If you missed that, go check it out. FCW Wrestling will be live in Leemount on November 29th. Reach Wrestling, for the first time ever, live at Unit 10 with fans, September 14th. Reach Army history is about to be made inside our very own home. For the first time ever, fans will step inside Unit 10, and we will bring a Battle Royal where huge stakes. The winner of said Battle Royal will earn a spot in December's massive Christmas Royal Rumble. Valor Pro will have 808s and Rope Breaks 2 September 13th. New Era Wrestling will present Proving Grounds September 20th. Texas Wrestling Cartel Respect My Gangster on September 20th. IMF Wrestling Ring of Champions September 27th. Baracho Pro Shots on the House September 21st. Death in the Family had their show Because the Fight on September 6th. If you missed it, go check it out. Severe Violent Nature, The House That Love Built on November 15th. King of Sports has a little tour going on. Wichita Falls, Texas, September 19th and the 20th. Pittsburgh, Texas, October 11th. Miller Grove, Texas, November 15th. Bree Combination Wrestling will have the Grand Rumble, a tribute to Mama Pan, on September 21st. Game Changer Wrestling Rumble on the Rubber, September 13th. Wrestling with Pride will have Pride and Punishment on November 29th. Pro Wrestling Magic, The Hangover, September 20th. Pro Wrestling Symphony, Toxie City, September 14th. Extreme World Wrestling, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, September 27th. ACCW Apple City Championship Wrestling will go live with WrestleGate 2 on September 13th. ICW North will have September to Dismember on September 12th. IWA Deep South Carnage Cup, October 25th and the 26th. Atomic Legacy Wrestling final show of October will be on the 10th. Palmetto Ground Slam at the Lex, October 17th. Time Bomb Pro, The Ring is Waiting, September 12th. Midwest Championship Wrestling Conflict, September 27th. 360 Pro, Cowtown Showdown, September 1st. And those are the wrestling shows I have written down for now, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned for those. Stay tuned for what's going on in the eFed world and pro wrestling world, like I said. I hope everybody has a great day, good night, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever y'all may be, and peace out.